Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And of course, I am your host, DBoss. But today we got a real special episode going on here. And we have the second annual International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards show, which is going to be happening on August the 27th and I believe the 28th. And we have so many performers, all with Indigenous background, all from there. But we got one particular guy who's going to be the co-host, performer. He's everything. And we're going to find out all about him and what all he's doing. All right. And where he's from and which Indian tribe he is from. So with no other further ado, I introduce to you Sly SKEETA.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Much love. Anin, Buju, Tanzi, what's Gucci?
Wow. That's where you're from?
Well, I represent Ojibwe. That is, my tribe. Shout out Mod Squad. Shout out to my reserve, which is Skowhegan First Nations in Manitoba. We call it Turtle Island. This is in Canada. This is native land. And representing, and also my African side. I'm Afro-Indigenous, so I'm proud to represent East Africa. My dad is from Eritrea, which is used to be part of Ethiopia. So yeah, I represent both nationalities. But we international, we worldwide. My whole family is multicultural. So as much as I'm proud of where I'm from, my whole extended family is from all over the world, different countries.
Well, it's the melting pot.
Exactly. It's a beautiful thing. I think it's really a beautiful thing when so many cultures come together. My dad was an immigrant who came to Canada. He came for a better life. He was a refugee. He was in a war-torn country. Eritrea is actually known as the North Korea of Africa. It's actually probably not the greatest attribute, but it's the reality where, it come from a country where they're having war. And when you're very young, you get drafted right into the military. So these are things that, we hope progressively in the future that we're trying to change that, right? We're trying to change that so, we can bring back tourism. We can bring back people wanting to be proud of where they're from and proud of being in Eritrea because it's a beautiful country. And, it's such it's a place where, that you don't want that negativity to stay there forever with all the military and the politics. And, there's so much more. There's a hidden beauty in there. We have the Red Sea, we have the Blue Nile, we have so many beautiful areas like Massawa. The capital city is Asmara, and these are, it's a beautiful, gorgeous country that is so untapped. And I think that, in the future, if things get better and there's no more war, no more shady politics, and there's a progressive way of a better lifestyle that people will come to see. It's a very beautiful country. So shout out to my African descent of Eritrea.
Well, everybody's kudos to you.
Yeah.
So Sly SKEETA, how did you come up with that name, or how did you come about that?
Well, for me, my MC name is my original name was Diverse, and my diverse name. There's too many other artists named Diverse. I was even in a competition in Oshawa in Ontario where there was actually two artists named Diverse. So I was like, well, how are they going to know who's going to choose to win in this competition? They might be confused which Diverse to pick. Also, as well, I'm a broadcasting graduate, and so I do what you do as well, hosting events. A little bit of stand-up comedy. Get my feet wet in there, and being a personality with podcasts, radio shows, interviews. So, I came up with, a play off my name, which is Sal. My full name is Arabic. It's Salah Abdul Qadir Ibrahim. Now, you can't say that name fast 10 times. So, I just call me Sal. And then Sly is a little play off of Sal. And, I'm sly as a fox. You know what I mean? I'm definitely witty. And, with the lyricism, with being a hip hop artist, spitting these bars. And the SKEETA part is, SKEETA is kind of like, when you think of Winnipeg, Manitoba, we have a mosquito problem. It's almost it gets really bad in the summertime. We're really hot. You're slapping yourself.
I don't like mosquitoes.
Yeah, no, you don't. So, but the SKEETA part can mean, it was an attribute to something of my hometown, something to connect, the people of my province, of my home. And SKEETA can mean different things. It's got this sexual innuendos. Like skeet skeet.
I didn't even know.
I don't shy away from that. I got music for the ladies. I got my club music. I love to get down. So, it's a SKEETA, Sly the SKEETA is fly as a cheetah. It's whatever you think it is. It's more than just a word. It's a lifestyle. It's SKEETA is here is an individual who's one of the best performers in the world. You know, I'm proud to say that I am proud of my Anishinaabe background, being Ojibwe, being Afro-Indigenous, and you know, that's just one of my attributes. So that is me, MC extraordinaire.
So how long have you been doing hip hop for?
Well, you know, I mean, I'd have to bring it back to my father's influence. You know, my dad was into the Motown music, you know, always, you know, looking into his records and being influenced by, you know, the Temptations, the Four Tops, you know, the Jackson Five, you know, and just getting the influences from him. You know, I mean, my dad would always give me his hand-me-downs, right? So, you know, he came to Canada in the late '70s, one of the first East Africans to migrate here as a refugee. And you know, I got his hand-me-downs. I got his 8-track player. You know, I got his old cassette tapes, cassette players. You know, his old record players, and I would play the records, and I loved looking at them. And I think that's just what began as an influence. And so, literally, I mean, in terms of saying how long I've done hip hop music, well, I mean, the first time I got on stage was 1998, so over 20 years ago.
Wow.
You know, so you know, I started off as a battle MC, and so being a battle MC, so maybe I'll give you an example, like Eminem and 8 Mile, kind of that, you know, competing against other rappers, you know, spitting these ferocious bars, cutting people down, bring, you know, just spitting the most evil as horribles, but in a witty, funny punchline kind of way. And that's how I started. You know, first time ever I got on stage, I battled and I got second place. And I knew I had something. I knew I had something in me to say, like, hey, I've got something to say, because you know, just a little bit before getting on stage, you know, I was just on the block, you know, being a little street rat, being a little hoodlum, and you know, rapping with my boys, and on the street we're ciphering, you know, freestyle rapping on the block, you know, kind of rolling with the bad crowd, the bad boys. And you know, that's where it started. And you know, you just you know, just it came from poetry, you know, lyrical poetry. So you know, you're getting in trouble, you're getting in trouble with the law, you're getting jammed up, you got no one there to bail you out and stuff. So you're writing to yourself, you're writing lyrics, and lyrics became rap bars, it became verses, and from there it became songs. And then I would go to different areas. There's a place called the Rossbrook House. DJ Honeycutt, shout out to him, you know, recorded some of my first songs. And this was a place where they were like helping out youth to record music who didn't have their own studio. So this was like inner city, you know, helping out kids in poverty. And yeah, you know, it just became second nature to me. You know, I went from battling to performing songs. And at first I didn't even really know how to perform songs. I was just freestyling. That was my niche, that was my expertise, was just freestyling, rapping off. I could do it right now. I could rap a little DBoss,
Do
floss,
something.
get Mickey,
Do it
get
now.
lost
We
in
do
the
it right
sauce. You know, so let's do this up. Okay, real life matters. They say all black lives matters, but I'm gonna let y'all know you can't worry about the bullets scatter. I'm the Mad Hatter. I'm coming through and about to make D-Boss have some laughter. I'm not coming after. This came from the beginning, and I'm gonna do this to the ninth inning. I used to live my life sinning, but now I'm a parent, and that's apparent. You're gonna see me? Yeah, it's not Clarence. It's your boy SLY, and I just came to get so fly. I'm spitting this so spontaneous a cappella. I spit so hard you need an umbrella. Ella, you know, I came from the underground. I'm Afro-Indigenous, repping for that sound. I leave you so dumbfounded. I can't swear, but I'ma take it there because I'm grizzly on the grind and I'm spitting my rhymes. It's always on time, always about to blow your mind. I see this girl wearing yellow and I'm like, hello. Yeah, I'm talking about making you feel so mellow with her glasses. Yeah, she's such a spectacular. I'm just right here. I'm looking like I'm Dracula, about to bite you with these bars. I'm just talking about how we do this. We be cruising around these nice cars. I left you smoked out like some cigars. Now tell me how you want to do, because I ain't getting no SARS or COVID. No, I ain't getting that jab. But if you want to feel me, my lyrical jab, I'm like Muhammad Ali when I bob and I weave. Now tell me what you want to see. Who's the real MC? Boom.
Boom. Yeah.
Boom. Represent.
Wow.
So, you know, we got a little distracted, but yeah, so just to fast forward.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
This is real
So,
life
but
matters.
you know,
This
just to
is
show you where I
here.
come from, you know, with that, this is the real raw skills. You know, you can't fake the funk. You know what I mean? I'm not just a lyricist and writing rhymes. I'm a freestyler. I'm an MC extraordinaire. I bring that real street. That's where the music came from. Hip hop came from the Bronx. Hip hop came from DJ Kool Herc, and that's where the real essence of hip hop came from. And I carry that pride with me, and that's why I keep doing this music. Over 20 years of experience. I've done talent shows. I've won talent shows where I've been a finalist, and then I get more clout, and then I got to start opening up for international artists. And I've opened up for Akon. I've opened up for Grammy Award winning artist
Wow.
Beanie Man. I've opened up for Riff Raff. I've opened up for Paul Wall. I've opened up for Lil Scrappy. A dance hall. I do reggae and dance hall. I've opened up for Tanya Stevens. Recently, just did a Soca Reggae festival. I'm also, just as much as I'm in the hip hop scene, I'm also in the electronic scene. So I've also emceed over different types of electronic music, such as drum and bass, jungle, dubstep, breaks, hard house, different kinds of house music. Yeah, and just blessed. I do festivals. I've been lucky enough. I've wanted to take hip hop as far as I can from this little small town called Winnipeg and take it to the world. And I've performed in Los Angeles. I performed in New York, the Big Apple. I've performed across Canada doing different festivals. I've performed in Vancouver. I've been in the T Dot, the 6-6, and I've also done festival. I did the Caribbean Festival in Rotterdam in Europe. 2018, I was blessed to do my first 3-city tour in Australia, and I connected with the indigenous people of Australia. It was amazing. They were like, they fed me kangaroo meat sandwiches. It tasted like a tough beef. I was I was th- I was throwing
Wow,
real
wait, did tell
boomerangs. You
us.
know what I mean? I was throwing real boomerangs. And they were giving me such a welcoming, uh, you know, uh, you know, um, they welcomed me with dances and the tribal and traditional ways. I didn't know anybody in Australia. I was so blessed to be able to share my music, talk about. I'm one of those artists who talk about real issues. A big issue that in my city, Winnipeg, Manitoba, is missing and murdered Indigenous women and children, which I am an advocate for. That's
Mhm.
important to me to be a role model, to step up and say, hey, we have a problem going on. We are the most native populated city in the world, not just Canada, not just North America, but in the world. And with
For
us being in
Winnipeg.
this,
Is Winnipeg? I thought it
yes,
was out everywhere. Okay.
but yeah, no, we are the most native populated city, and
Okay.
it's like an urban reserve. So a lot of things can happen when you're in the middle of the north. What they call us, the heart of North America. We're the heart of the continent. So you know what I mean. There's a lot of negativity. There's an underworld. Things go left, things go right, east, west, up, north, south. So with that being happened, there is things such as human trafficking. There is young
Mhm.
women who are street workers that are caught up in the street life poverty, and they do get kidnapped, and they get stolen, and they get murdered, and some of them are as young as in their teens.
Wow.
One of the most important stories that I could ever share was a young woman. She went missing last year. Her name is Jana Williams, and she was in her 20s. She was kind of in the streets, and she went missing. And my friends were just like, oh, let's share this about on my social media to say, oh, let's try and find her. And she ended up being found murdered.
Oh.
Rest in peace to Jana Williams. And so her body was found dismembered in a suitcase, and it was tossed away by the river. And she was 6 months pregnant, and the baby didn't make it. So, when we heard about this, there was a vigil. We had a candlelight vigil. I didn't even know where it was, but as my heart just broke, I was heartbroken over this, and so I immediately went to go find this vigil. At the time I didn't have a vehicle, so I was riding on the bike, and it was the winter time, and going through the snow. I was lost. I even fell in the snow. Luckily, Creator, the spirits had spoke to me, and I found my way. I seen all these candle lights in the sky and hearing people singing traditional powwow music, and so I found them, and I went there to where her body was found at this vigil. And most people, the community had come together, and it was just so sad. It was just so depressing to see this. I mean, something like this, how could it get this bad? And there's a man named Daryl Contois, and he's one of the guys that does look for the missing girls. He's like the go-to guy, and he also does Drag the Red, where they look into the Red River for any missing dead bodies or any missing persons in the water. Is like sometimes do they get dumped? So he spoke at the vigil of this lady, and when he was speaking, he said that the spirit spoke to him, that the spirit said that unborn baby that was murdered with the mother was named Little Hummingbird. And
Mm.
so that I've got a tattoo here of I've got of a you can see
Oh
it,
wow.
yeah, and I have that as you know, as a memory to say that, you know what I mean, to keep doing what I'm doing, to be an advocate, to speak up, and to remind myself every day to stand up for my indigenous women and children and men and boys, not just girls. It's also men and boys, because I
Mhm.
feel like when someone sees a young girl, you know, there was like Tina Fontaine was a name of a young girl that really like the whole world heard about. It was heard across the whole world, but it's just as important. I need to stand up and speak up for the men and boys as well that go missing and murdered. So yeah, that's just one of the many things that I'm an advocate for. That's important because you know, our youth need to know that you know, that these things are going on, and we want to move forward to find a solution, improve these, so that, you know, these things don't happen in the future.
Wow. So tell us about Mommy, the song, Mommy.
Yeah, well, so mommy, well, you know, mommy was you know, for me, you know, as an indigenous artist, you know, I as an indigenous man, you know, I'm the intergenerational effect of residential schools. So if you're familiar with residential schools, our people many years ago, as late as the 1870s, were put into residential schools, which were run by nuns and priests, and you know, they were there to in with the government to take out the Indian out of the Indian, to take out the native out of the native. So you went, they took all the babies, the youth, put into these schools. They weren't allowed to speak our language. They weren't allowed to have long hair. You know, they weren't allowed to just have that freedom of being a child. And my mother was in that residential school. My auntie was in that residential school. My uncle, and they were treated very bad. They were sexually abused. You know, some of the most scariest things that should never happen to our family happened at that point. So you know, you know, having my mother being that when she had me, as I said, you know, that my dad came here to Canada from Africa, you know, met this native indigenous woman, that's my mom, and but she wasn't ready to be a parent, so she did leave you know, she was out of my life at the age of 2. And I didn't understand that, you know, even my father still doesn't understand about residential schools. But as I get older, learning about it now it's in the forefront, and the residential schools are the you know, the information's coming out there, because a lot of it was hidden, that you know, the you know, I'm able to speak about it now, and I've gained that knowledge, because now they're finding about how many babies were being buried on in unmarked graves all over across North America, Canada, United States.
Mhm.
And so, you know, just knowing of what happened, you know, and really understanding, you know, I wanted to make a song, you know, because I also have a stepmom. My dad remarried, and so you know, there I had all these different qualities of, like, you know, things that, you know, I did get reunited with my birth mom, and I've learned so much from her, such as being an advocate for missing and murdered. But I wanted to just make a song for you know, for mothers. I wanted to make a song about my birth mom, how she affected me, how she influenced me. Of course, you know, my stepmother as well. There's even lyrics about my foster mom when I was also in foster care, and the producer himself, who's also, you know, was influenced by hip hop music. So you know, I also discussed about, you know, I talked about the producer's mother as well. So yeah, the song was part of the Red Robe compilation, which went all the way to Parliament in Ottawa. And yeah, that was about 2012 that that song came out. So that was a very dear song to me, and I'm glad I got that exposure and got connected with the red robe. If you know about the red dress, it signifies, the red dress signifies, you know, missing women. And you might see around different areas, you know, indigenous stores or in homes with a red dress and a coat hanger, either put in the forest. And yeah, that's what that symbolizes. So the song
Wow.
for the females are strong women, and that's what that's about.
So how do you feel that you were selected to be a co-host of
Oh,
this indigenous?
oh, well, you know, I mean, well, like I said, you know, it's just got to get my charger here. You know, for me, like, I'm a broadcasting graduate, like I said, so that was one of the things, is that, you know, me being a musician and a hip hop artist, I wanted to still stay in the realm of multimedia.
Okay.
And as since this is a set, oh no.
Well, we'll be right back.
Miss Bonita books have helped me with divorcement problems of my parents and other things like with friends.
It tells you that you just shouldn't give up and that you should just keep trying to make it work.
They help me know what to think and what to do to make me feel better.
It makes me less upset when I lost my friends at different schools that I've been to.
They show you that people are also going through what you're going through and that you're not alone, and that you should feel comfortable talking to a guardian because they're not going to make fun of you or judge you.
If someone's going through that type of problem too, they know to always be happy and they always have someone.
It's good for all ages and it can really help people.
I think the Miss Bonita books could help you and many other people around the world.
Welcome to Real Life Matters. I'm your host, DBoss. Real Life Matters is a power-packed inspired program that brings you real people with real matters. If you are a company, brand, or artist, we will take you to the next level. Watch Real Life Matters Monday to Friday right here.
The eyes and ears of the Caribbean. Caribvision.
Miss Bonita books have helped me with divorcement problems of my parents and other things like with friends.
It tells you that you just shouldn't give up and that you should just keep trying to make it work.
They help me know what to think and what to do to make me feel better.
It makes me less upset when I lost my friends at different schools that I've been to.
They show you that people are also going through what you're going through and that you're not alone, and that you should feel comfortable talking to a guardian because they're not going to make fun of you or judge you.
If someone's going through that type of problem too, they know to always be happy and they always have someone.
It's good for all ages and it can really help people.
I think the Miss Bonita books could help you and many other people around the world.
Well, welcome back. We're here back with SKEETA.
Hey, I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Technology. So I do remember that you were saying how did I get into co-hosting? You know, I'm one of the Winnipeg artists is one of the leaders. I'd like to say, I'm proud to say in a confident way that we're trying to bring, not we're trying, but we are doing it. We are bringing Indigenous hip hop, Indigenous urban music to the forefront. And I know that Chris Sharpe sees my vision that I want to get involved. Last year, as the first annual Indigenous Hip Hop Awards, I was nominated for Breakout Artist.
Wow.
So, that was a great feeling to be nominated for an award. It was my first time to ever be nominated for an award. Just to give you a little bit of insight, Winnipeg, Manitoba, we're like a small, big city. So we're still growing. We're not as big as a metropolis. Toronto, Vancouver, even Calgary's not as big. But, Winnipeg, like I said, we're the most native populated city. And, we are progressing, slowly but surely, and now with the International Indigenous Hip Hop Music Awards, we're really like steamrolling. You know what I mean? We're really gaining that exposure, and I just wanted to be a part of that. You know what I mean? I wanted to be a part of this in any way possible that I can. Whether it's something in the backgrounds. During COVID, I learned how to DJ, so I'm also a DJ as well. And, so just wanting to be involved, showing that I have this hunger that, that I'm someone to be taken seriously, and that I'm in the forefront. I'm proud to be an Afro-Indigenous artist, and that, I'm one of the ones that's going to take it there. That's a real artist. I've done the talent shows. I've done the battle emceeing. I've gotten in competitions where, I have to be judged and show that I'm one of the best. And I say that in a confident way, not a conceited way. I'm always I like to say I'm humble, but I'm always ready to rumble. So that's just my demeanor, and that's who I am. So you know what I mean? I just think that such as Chris Sharpe, big shout outs to him for getting me involved. That he
Tell you
sees
a
that
shout out.
hunger.
Is there
Yeah,
anyone else you
definitely.
want
So.
to shout out?
Oh, of course, for sure. Yes. Well, I just wanted to finish the answer to the question. So this year I'm nominated for Best Male Hip Hop Artist of 2022. So it's a huge feeling to be nominated for a big, I'm rubbing elbows with some of the biggest Indigenous artists around the world. I feel like some people don't get it, are a little confused. They think, well, this is just an award show for Indigenous artists in Canada. No, this is not just Canada. This is not just Turtle Island. This is international Indigenous music artists from around the world. So this is like,
Wow.
you get Indigenous artists from the Pacific Islands, you have Australian Indigenous artists. So you're getting the best from around the world, and I'm just proud to be a part of that. I'm proud to be a nominee in the best male hip hop artist category, and I'm proud to be one of the performers. I'll be performing at the trade show, and I'm also proud to be a co-host, flexing my broadcasting skills, and just bringing the world to Winnipeg. I like to call it the triple W, worldwide Winnipeg. You know what I mean? We're bringing Winnipeg to the rest of the world, and we deserve to be up there. There's so many of us who didn't get the opportunities. We don't have record labels knocking on our doors. We don't have management saying, hey, I'm going to sign you a record deal, or, oh, hey, I'm going to take your career to the highest. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so many times we have so much talent. You have no idea, DBoss, how many people have the talent, but we just don't have the connections. We don't have, the opportunities like you have in some of these other cities. And so because that can really bring you down. That can really be like, well, I'm just going to give up now. I'm not, you know what I mean? And that's why I've always been that type of artist to just never give up, because I know that I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm hungry for that success. I want those opportunities. And it's, for me, I've really realized that it's not about being an overnight success, but it's about the journey. It's about all the rough and tumbles, the taking risks, the investing in yourself, branding in yourself, pushing yourself every day to have your story heard, to get the exposure you deserve, and that's why I'm here. And Chris has seen that. Chris Sharpe and everybody else that's part of the International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards sees that I deserve this opportunity. So to answer your question, that's really what it's all about. Is, you know what I mean? I am the definition of Winnipeg hip hop artist, and I deserve to be heard as an Afro-Indigenous person.
I'm telling you, you're going to go far. Are you going to do some acting?
Of course, yeah. I'm an actor. I do a little bit of acting. Like I said, I'm a broadcasting graduate. So, I've been a personality, a host. I've also taken theater in University of Winnipeg. And, I've done a little bit of acting here and there. I was actually recently doing some Batman fandom, which is for a director's channel on YouTube. I'll definitely send some links out for that. And I've done some acting in different small time TV episodes, and just loving to stay in the realm of multimedia. Whether it's acting or being an artist and being a hip hop MC or DJing. Like I said, a little bit of stand up comedy. If you like my stand up, you'll love my sit down. But yeah, just being an all around person, and the number one most is being a role model. I don't think musicians enough these days. These younger generation, they don't want to be a role model, because it's too hard. You know what I mean? It's tough to have the whole world on your shoulders, but you got to be ready for that, because it's going to open up opportunities. You as Chris would say to me, Chris Sharpe would say that you're only going to make things happen for yourself when you're helping others. And I thoroughly believe that. You know what I mean? When I talk about real issues like missing and murdered Indigenous women and children, or teen suicide, or talking about police brutality, or talking about any real issues that, you know what I mean, we need to be heard. We have something to say, and it's a beautiful thing. So that's I definitely want to be keep growing and use this as a platform to elevate myself and do bigger and huge things, and just get that success that I deserve, because it's been a long grind. And but I'm in the forefront, and I'm proud to say that I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep continuing. I'm going to keep motivating. I'm going to keep inspiring our First Nation Indigenous youth to show that, hey, you can follow your passions, you can follow your dreams, you can do whatever you want your mind lets you know, because it's so hard on the reserves, on the reservations. It's so hard for these kids that are bored. They don't have the access to recording studios. They get caught up in their friends and drugs and alcohol, or getting into gangs and crime.
Right.
And they just need somebody to teach them, like, say, hey, like, you can do this. You can travel around the world and perform, and you can open up for big international artists, or you can have your music played on the radio. And I'm doing that. So I want to let them know it's not going to be easy. It's definitely the hardest thing. I always say that the music industry, with how it is, so much shadiness, a lot of smoke and mirrors, that, you know what I mean, it's almost like a facade, but you can't let that stop you from your dreams. You can't let yourself stop being wanting to be successful. So I'm here to inspire, I'm here to empower, and I'm here to show others that you can do it and follow your dreams and be a success.
All right. So, any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
Yeah, of course. Definitely got lots of shout out. Definitely want to shout out my family, my Ibrahim team, my mod squad, represent both my Afro and Afro indigenous cultures. You want to shout out all my fans, all my supporters that love Sly music. Please look out on the, I've got, a few singles right now that are bubbling right now. We got my Pop Smoke tribute, Bring Woo Back. And we've also got my second single, which is called Problems, which talks about the opioid crisis that's happening right now with drugs such as fentanyl, crystal meth, ecstasy. These are such bad drugs that are being floating around the world and being transported, and our teenagers and youth are dying from it. They take one hit of this, they take one thing of it, and they die instantly. And I'm tired of burying our young people, when they have such full of life and a future ahead of them. And so it's definitely want to be able to make sure to let y'all know that my next album is coming out next month. And I'm just really excited about that. Shout out to all my people that are tuning in. Shout out to all my new fans that are part of this show. Shout out to DBoss for giving me this opportunity to speak up. And shout out to everybody as part of International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards. It's the best feeling to be a part of something. You really feel like you feel the energy, you feel the excitement. Our city's going to be on fire. And when it comes to August 26th at the trade show and August 27th for the award show, it's gonna be on fire. It's gonna be exciting, and we're gonna have so much fun. It's gonna be amazing. There's gonna be memories. We're pushing forward with the promo. We're out on the streets. We're putting up posters. We're spreading the word. We're giving out stickers. We're wearing our promo shirts. And we're creating video footage at Moto Studios. And we're just doing it. We're just putting it over there and making this as big as it can possibly for the future.
So if people want to reach out to you, where can they find you?
You can find me on every social media platform. All you got to look under is Team Sly 204. That's TEAM SLY 204. So basically, you can find me on TikTok. I got a nice little following on TikTok. So that's where I do. I'll spit some bars, or I'll do some comedy stuff, or I'll do some promo stuff for my shows. I'm a proud artist that wants to help with mental health, and I do fundraisers and helping change forward for the community. So that's very important to me. You can also find me on my Facebook page, Team Sly 204, for any upcoming shows, any upcoming songs. Look me up on Instagram, Team Sly 204, all day. And you can find my music on all platforms. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube, Deezer, you name it. I am everywhere. There's no way you can't get away from me.
Well, this has been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Sly. I'm telling you, you gotta come back again. You gotta come back when you're doing your stuff.
Oh, for sure. Please believe, I got lots of stories. I got lots of history. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I just don't want to be taking too much of your time. I know there's other artists, and I know they deserve their shine. Big up to all the artists. I just want to say as well, I want to say that's the number one thing as well to mention for shout outs is all the artists that are part of this award show as well. I know everybody's been on the grind, and to see everybody getting the exposure, getting the recognition that we deserve, because we've been held so far back in the past where, like I said, we almost want to give up on our dreams. But with the International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards, we're able to bring that voice and level up and show the world that, hey, we have something to say. We are here. We're speaking up for our people, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Cree, and Inuit, Dean. And we're proud to say, like, hey, you know what I mean? We're speaking up for the ones that were affected by residential schools, such as my mom. We're affected by our Native people that were hurt and have died in the past, or missing and murdered, that are not here today to speak up for themselves and make a change and do something for our people. All
right. Well, we thank you. And I think the viewers and you guys, go register, sign up for the 2nd annual International Indigenous Hip Hop Award Show. You know, you
Yep.
guys seen it here. If you didn't see it, you got to go and go to the YouTube channel and see it. What Sly SKEETA said. He's the co-host, so go look out. But I do
Yeah,
want to thank
exactly.
you. Thank
And yeah,
you.
and for all the people that are tuning in, you can definitely, you know, if you can, if you've got the paper to come out here and come out to Winnipeg, I'll definitely give you a tour of the place. I'll show you around. I'll show you what's popping. You know, our city is thriving. We're growing. It's a beautiful, crazy city in the world, but you know what I mean. It's home. I'm born and raised here, and I'll take you anywhere you need to go because I'm born and raised and proud to be where I'm from. And if you're not able to make it here, you can watch the whole thing online. You can watch everything from beginning to end. Of how we do it here with the award show. I've got big shoes to fill too. Last year's hosts were Mike Bone and
Yes, I interviewed them. They were a hoot, man. The two of
yeah.
them.
So and
You
the
got some big
opportunities.
shoes to fill there because those guys were coming, man.
Yeah, but no pun intended, because they're little guys, you know what I mean? But they got big shoes, and I know
They
that
got big shoes and big stuff, but you could go see the interview with them. They were, oh my gosh.
I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, and now
They
now
were
they're doing
something.
big things. They're on like the Disney channel,
Mhm.
now with the Reservation Dogs. You know, so I'm hoping some of that will rub off on me, and I get some
It will,
opportunities.
it will, it
And
will. Because
me and
people,
you have to talk, DBoss. Me and you have to
okay,
talk outside of the show. Let's definitely work. Let's network.
right.
I network to get work. Okay, so you know
Well,
we'll
you get a lot
definitely
of
link up.
networking over here with me. But anyways,
Exactly.
just stay around. Just stay around after I get close up the broadcast. And I do
Will
want to
do.
thank you. All right. And I do want to thank you again. And I do
Yeah.
want to thank the viewers for watching Real Life Matters. So everybody, so bye for now.
Much love, y'all. McQuade.